Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network.
I was specifically saying, like our friends who are going to, vote on the margins this coming fall don't care about women's rights. I would also like to say, for the record, that those who are concerned about what's going on in Israel and Gaza, you have to understand that, first of all, Donald Trump said, insofar as Netanyahu, you got to finish the problem. You got to, you have to root out the cancer, and you have to do it quickly. You know what quickly means? With as many civilian deaths as you want. You don't have to measure your approach. Just get
or
it
Lindsey
over
Graham,
with.
nuke them. Just nuke them.
Yeah.
Yes, make it parking
Exactly.
lots so Jared can build
Trump
condos.
will give Netanyahu all the room he wants to do the most horrible things he could ever imagine doing, with no guardrails at all. And he knows this, so he is teeing up the very people who think that they're protecting the Palestinians in this regard to guarantee Trump gets into office, in terms of what Netanyahu thinks, to allow him to do the very thing that they allegedly think they're against.
Yeah.
It's cartoonishly stupid.
Yep. I love how you tweet back at GOP. They tweeted, Bidenflation has left Americans with less money in their pockets. And you said, I noticed you left out how Trump is responsible for 1/3 of our national debt. The bet on COVID, leading the next president to clean it up, and is the first president to give land to Mexico since the Alamo. Oh, and China paid him $17 million in secret bank accounts while he was president. It just, you know, the word you just used, cartoonish, is that this whole thing is cartoonish.
Yeah.
That they are, Lara Trump is literally talking about he may have to accept the nomination from prison, and that's fine. This is where we are.
Yeah. That's the quality of the Republican Party. And by the way, that was the trajectory they've been on since Nixon. That's ad absurdum, without them rebooting their party. That's all that's where they were always going to go. They were always go from where Nixon was leading them to their party's nom at some point going to jail, whether it was John Hughes torture excuses, whether it was,
if the president does it, it's illegal. It's legal. That's where that's where we're at the Supreme Court right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Here's Lara Trump. Here we go.
They rushed this case in, jammed it in right in the middle of an election, of course. And we all saw what happened. And then they had to wait a month and a half for sentencing, miraculously 4 days before the convention, to your point. Here's the bottom line. It doesn't matter whether Donald Trump is in Trump Tower, Mar-a-Lago, or anywhere else they may try to put him. On the day that we, as the Republican Party, will be nominating him as our official candidate and our official nominee for president.
Okay, one more. Hang on.
He will accept that no matter where he is. He will go on to be our candidate all the way to November 5th, when he then is reelected as our 47th president. So try though they might to make this a negative for him, I think everybody can only see it's been a positive for him. So I believe every time the Democrats try their lawfare or whatever other kind of crazy tactic it is to take down Donald Trump, it actually boomerangs on them in some way and makes Donald Trump even stronger. And this will be no different.
I think the perfect ticket is Trump ankle monitor 2024. Everybody's wondering who his VP is going to be. It's probably going to have to be his parole officer, because they're the person who will have to be in the room with him all the time when he's making any meaningful decisions. Like what felon to hang out with.
And as you've been talking about, why you're wearing your Don't Panic shirt and looking at it is hurting him in the polling. I mean, I was waiting for this headline. Trump flips out on Fox News after new poll shows Biden surging past him. Since May, this is a Fox poll. Since May, a 3-point change in the presidential race. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. Trump has lost 6 points with independents compared to the group's May survey taken before his conviction, while Biden has gained 8 points and now leads Trump among independents. I mean, they're seeing the same polling, right?
Oh, and think about this going into the debate. So if you're Donald Trump and you're already worried that this is happening at night, and you can understand why that would be a difficult thing for him right now, and that he's saying that Joe Biden's going to be on cocaine to cover for the fact that he's been talking about this Sleepy Joe crap for a couple of years, can't put two cents together, can't find his way off stage. So Biden, all he has to do is come in and talk policy. and bore everybody to tears with numbers, and people will go, "What the hell? This guy is like totally competent." And
but it
Trump
happens
will be
every
a sweaty,
time.
Rambling, angry, muted mess with his mic turned off.
Yeah, I mean, we say this every day, Hal, that they do it every time before the State of the Union, the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Jody and I just saw him live in DC. He just flew from the G7 through 9 time zones, and he was smart and funny and sharp. And Obama did not have to help him off stage. They just put his arm around him because they were laughing it together and getting a standing ovation.
And Biden, if left up to his own devices, Biden will stay there and talk to everybody all night. Yes. And they had to they went and took pictures with Clooney and Julia Roberts and all that crowd right after that thing. And they're like, the celebrities are leaving, Joe. We need to get our picture with them because that's part of what's going on here so we can post it. And the people that like them will like us. That's how campaigns work. Come on, let's go. And Biden's like, but the real people are here. Same thing with the parachutists. All the world leaders staring at the one guy who landed right in front of him, who's the talking point, who's got the G7 flag. Everybody else was flying a flag of one of the countries. There were 6 of these other guys, or 7 of these other people, including this like an 8-person team. Biden walks over, gives the thumbs up to the other team, flying the flags of these countries, and the rest of these leaders can't be bothered.
Right.
That was the amazing part. The amazing part wasn't that he walked over to say, great job to those guys. It's that the Macron and everybody else was just like, get over here. It's a picture thing. And then we're going to leave.
I know.
Like, he was like, you guys are amazing. Like, he's a gentleman.
And by the way, there's tons of footage of Donald Trump from every angle waving at no one.
God.
Stumbling.
Hence all the freezing stuff. Because what they do is they find a video of Biden talking to someone where he's listening and then he froze. So, and they never play the full audio of it because you can hear the person even on the stage when Obama walks up to him and grabs him by the wrist, somebody is yelling a question at Biden at that event, is saying something to him, and he's leaning forward listening to that person, and they're like, come on, man, we got to go. And that's exactly what happens. Same thing with Joe Rogan in the he shakes hands with dead people thing. Because if you widen the shot out, you see that he sees a buddy of his and he's like, hey, man, how you doing? I'll come off this. I can't come this way. I'll come off this way. That's the whole birth of the myth that he's talking to no one, can't find his way out the stage. So that edit.
You were talking about going to the Trump Vegas rally and just the insane conspiracy theorist lunatics. But just to your point, Rasmussen. Have you seen Rasmussen?
Rasmussen.
The right-wing polling firm that regularly cited by Trump because it shows his approval ratings higher because it's BS. In recent months, they've gone far beyond their traditional partisan leanings and gone all in on anti-vax conspiracy theories. They tweeted the results of a poll claiming that 1 in 5 Americans believe they know someone who died from a COVID vaccine. Well, I mean,
that's not possible.
Right. First of all,
we didn't even lose that many people. Right. Like numerically, that's absurd.
Right.
But that's what I mean. But that should show you how they build their polls. That should show you statistically the leaps that they are making, Rasmussen.
Yeah. We talked to Dr. Redlener today about his friend, Dr. Fauci, who was obviously out with a book. And it just is heartbreaking, him talking about being afraid he's going to be killed.
I'm very...
here he is.
I'm very concerned about that because the misinformation and disinformation about absolutely scientifically proven life-saving interventions, it's astonishing to me that so many people by political ideology will make a decision that would actually endanger their lives. I mean, the facts are, and as a physician and a scientist, this is very painful to me, that if you look at red states versus blue states, because of people getting less vaccinated because you're a Republican versus a Democrat, there are more deaths and hospitalizations in red states versus blue states. That's horrible that happens, that people suffer and die because of misinformation that's related to a political ideology.
It's not why I'm wearing my Let's Go Darwin shirt.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Just saying anything that would shave the Kennedy and Trump voters.
No, young lady, no. But I will say this, like,
was that a newspaper? Where'd you get that?
Hell of a get out the vote campaign, right? Like, where are you getting them out to? A cemetery? It's nuts. And again, that's like, think of all the people who lost somebody. You know about that 1 in 5 thing.
Yes.
The reason they're asking is because they only ask Republicans, and they talk to more Republicans, which is, by the way, an outsized number from the reality, anyways, because you have more Democrats in the country. And per capita, Democrats are way ahead in that regard. But if you act like it's even, we went to a county, we asked 50 Republicans and 50 Democrats and, and 10 independents or whatever. And we decided this is how we're going to shake it down when there's actually 1,000 Democrats and 40 Republicans in the area.
Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. I hope you'll join me on my new audio podcast, Justice Matters. I'll be using my 30 years as a federal prosecutor and Army JAG to unpack, break down, and explain the legal issues of the day, particularly where the legal intersects with the political. Please look for Justice Matters with Glenn Kirshner wherever you generally get your podcasts.